Hello everyone. Tonight I'm Abilbek Narimbayev, and tonight we have a special guest from Israel. His name is Eli Cohen, and I met this nice gentleman in Sochi about a week ago. Me and him attended the same event in Sochi city. It was a Davinci event, and I had a pleasure to meet him personally, and then we have a pleasure to have him online here with us tonight. Thank you for coming, Eli.
Oh, my pleasure to be here.
Can you tell us about your background? What do you do, and what kind of occupation you have?
Okay, I'm a computer programmer. I have a day job working for a big national company in Israel, and a number of years ago, I've been doing work on the side in order to build up a passive income. In other words, to have an income that's not dependent on the number of hours that I work. Right? Now, there's all different things on the internet for earning money, all different things, but unfortunately, a lot of them are scams, right? And so I was very careful about what things I chose. And when I first heard about Davinci, so first of all, the person who told me about it, I said to him, I'd like to meet the programmers, I'd like to speak to them, and to understand what they're doing, who they are, and so on. But when I heard more about the way that it works with the Davinci robot, that we paid the developers for a license, but the trades we see somewhere else. We deposit our money with the broker somewhere else, and we see the trades in my FX book. When I understood that there's complete transparency over here, I realized that I didn't need to speak to the developers. I realized that I could look at the information myself, and being a computer programmer, I like to look at the data, the information, especially when it's verifiable information in my FX book. And I could see for myself that there's real profits over here. And so because of that, I got involved with it, and I had no problems right from the beginning to recruit other people. I've been involved in other MLM businesses before, and usually I like to go through a few months to become familiar with it and feel happy about it before I recommend it to somebody else. I don't want anybody to get involved in a Ponzi scheme and end up losing their money. And so I usually wait until I really understand the business very well before recommending it to somebody else. But with Davinci, I realized that there's such clear transparency that right from the beginning, I had no problem to recommend it to someone else.
Nice, nice. And
And
so, how's it going so far in this project?
it's going very well. And I now have a network of 150 people, and people who are underneath me, they're also bringing other people, and some of the people are more interested in the network marketing and recruiting other people. But I also have a lot of people that they told me from the beginning that they're not interested in recruiting anybody. They just want to pay the license for the robot, to deposit money and earn money from the trading. And so I said to them, that's fine, you can do that. And that's another thing that's very good with Davinci, that you don't need to recruit anybody in order to earn money.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And so, what was your first goal when you started doing DaVinci? Did you want the passive income, or you more wanted the network marketing?
My first goal was the network marketing, because I realized that, particularly because people pay for the license every single year, so the quicker you build up a big team underneath you, the more money you're going to earn from the network marketing. In terms of the trading, there's some people that have a very large amount of money. I know somebody who invested more than $80,000, and earns a lot of money from it every month, right? So someone like that, he earns a lot of money from the trading. But for me, I didn't have that type of money. And so I saw that in order to build up a large passive income, I need to build up a big network of people underneath me.
True, true. Uh-huh. So, have you studied, learned any other robots before before entering Davinci, or are you studying another robots, watching them? I mean,
Yes, I am. I tell you like this. Um, I was previously involved in certain companies with network marketing, and fortunately, I was successful with them. But but then I started to look into trading, and I started to learn how to trade. Um, I didn't invest any money in trading because I didn't feel that I'd learned enough, right? But I started to learn how to trade, and as I was learning it, I realized that it's something that's very suitable for a computer program. As a computer programmer, I realized that if somebody looks at the graphs and looks for all different signs in the graph, you can see whether it's more likely that it's going to go up or down. This is something that's suitable for a computer program. And then I found out that nowadays, a lot of the trading is done by robots. All the big banks, they invest huge amounts of money to develop robots. So I realized there's a lot of money to be earned there. Now, I have looked little bit into other robots apart from the Davinci robot. And what I see with them is that they're good for a certain period of time, for a certain type of market, but then they might not do so well in another type of market. If the market changes, then if the trading market changes, then people could end up losing all their money even. Right. And so what I've heard from people that use these trading robots, they say it's a gamble, that they earn large amounts of money and they take off some of their profits and keep their profits, but they know that eventually from time to time they're going to lose all the money that they've put in for trading. Right? So they do it as a gamble, and hopefully they take out money so that they make an overall profit, but they look at it as a gamble. What's different with the Davinci robot is that it has built into it artificial intelligence, which means that when the trading market changes, the robot adapts to it, it changes to it, and it's still able to make profits in different types of trading markets. Now, this is something I've heard from people who are expert traders. In fact, Guy Sagi, who introduced Spartan to Davinci, he himself has made trading robots, and he's been involved in trading for many years. And he says that if you look at the results of trading for, let's say, 2 years, there's a certain account for 2 years, and you can see that it's continuously going up and up and up. He said that if for 2 years, or even less than that, if it shows that it's continuously making profits and not having big losses, so then that shows it can work well in different types of market conditions.
So, have you discovered that secret formula of Da Vinci, why it is so successful among other robots?
How did I discover the secret formula?
Or have you discovered the secret formula of
Ah,
Da Vinci robot?
well, I mean, they have a few secret formulas. I mean, I've heard from the developers; they've explained a few things about how the robot works, and also I can see for myself from the trading, the way it does the trading, I can see a little bit how it works, but exactly how it works completely, only the programmers know. And they said there's certain things that are secrets that they don't tell other people, because otherwise people will copy it.
Yes, true. I mean, because you always have to protect your rights, and I mean, if you wanna be on a business for a long time, and
Yeah,
and
that's right.
people keep asking me, first of all, saying, okay, I mean, it's well to know that about like 40 or 50% of the market is done by robots nowadays, and basically robots are competing with each other. And
Right.
I want to ask you a personal question. What do you think for in next 5 years or 10 years? How is it going to turn out? And especially with Davinci.
I'm not sure. It's something that I've discussed with different people, and there's different opinions about it. One opinion I've heard is that the Forex market, there's more than $5 trillion of trades every day, right? And a lot of that trading is by big banks buying currencies one from the other. They're not actually trading in order to make money, but it's just that a certain country needs a certain amount of money, and so they buy that other currency. I remember here in Israel that there was a time that the dollar was going down, and so the Israeli government, they bought a whole load of dollars in order that it shouldn't go down too much against the Israeli shekel. So you find countries and banks, they're buying foreign money, but not in order to be making a profit, right? And so therefore, even if a lot of people join Davinci, let's say hundreds, 100,000, million, right? Even if a very large amount of people join Davinci, it's still not likely to make a big effect in the Forex market because the market is just so big, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, that's one opinion I've heard. There's other people that say that if so many people use Davinci, then eventually it could have a certain effect on the market. And I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, I just once I was like talking to some people who already use robots and know these projects, and they were like, they didn't really believe me first. They said, "Come on, how can like few guys out of nowhere with no names can compete with big investment banks, some other financial, I mean, companies who invested a big amount of money in making their own robots, and some of them were not successful. So basically, they were like telling me,
Yeah.
how could it happen, you know? Or why are they like so genius? Those four guys, or what is the secret behind it? So I was just like, I couldn't really ask the question. But I mean, we all know that sometimes just look at the Facebook history, look at Google, look at some other, I mean, technological projects. They came out from few people basically. It was the first
Right.
ideas, and then they had the money for it, and they start just building and building it. What can you add to it?
All right. I've thought a lot about this particular question that you're asking now. How could it be? Just these three programmers, they make something so fantastic that the banks can't do. But I'll tell you like this. Um, um, I'm working for a company. Actually, the company that I work for is the main bus company in Israel. It's called Eged, right? And they have a lot of computer systems, and we build these computer systems, right? Now, um, people who are computer programmers working for someone else, so we get told what we're supposed to do and in how much time we need to do it, and so we do what we're supposed to do according to what the managers tell us to do. Now, I know, and everyone else knows who's employed as a computer programmer, that a lot of people could actually do much, much better than what they're really doing working for these companies, because the companies, they have deadlines, that we have to finish things on a certain time. They tell us what to do and don't necessarily listen to our opinions, and so the products that we produce are sometimes more limited than if somebody was working by themselves. Right now, I live in a country, Israel, which is also known as startup nation. There's a lot of startups, small companies that they have a certain idea and they build their idea and they end up becoming a big company. Right? There's a lot of startups here, and there was even one that we were working with. There was two computer programmers that they made a computer system that made the whole way of working out the bus schedules and which drivers should drive which bus and where the buses should go from and to and how they get to where they're supposed to start from and where they end to. They made a computer system that makes it as efficient as possible, that saves as much money as possible, right? And they're just two programmers, right? But because they made this company, they started it themselves, they put their whole heart into it. And they don't have managers telling them that you have to finish this at this particular time. They're free to work as hard as possible and to make it as best as possible. And a number of times you see with these startup companies, they're the ones that produce very, very good things because they put their whole heart into it. And I think that that's what's happened with Davinci. You've got these three programmers that are completely focused on building the robot to be as best as possible. They're not interested in marketing. They put giving the marketing to somebody else, right? They are focused to make the robot as good as possible. And I see it as a big advantage that the programmers, they themselves are the owners of the company.
Very true, very true.
And
I mean, I completely can refer to what you're saying, Eli. Anyways,
okay, very good.
I think we had a very good discussion tonight about Davinci Project, about yourself.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us tonight,
Right.
Eli, and we wish you
Pleasure.
good luck. Dear friends, it was Abilbek Narimbayev and Eli Cohen from Israel tonight on the air with you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Okay, I look forward to coming to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, by the way, give me a call. I will meet you at the airport.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.